Hello, once again, Star Wars unboxing fans. Welcome to another episode of Darth Tuba's Star Wars unboxing show. I'm your host, Darth Tuba, and we have not one, not two, not three, but 4 boxes, 4 items to unbox. These are items that have come in the mail while I was away on a very long trip. So there's a lot to get to. So we're going to get right into it. As I've been saying, I've been utilizing the funds from the sale that we just had to kind of restock 3 parts. Fill gaps in the collection, number 1. 2, I'm talking about the 70s and 80s collection. Number 2, get some doubles of things that I can put in dioramas. Basically, I don't know if it's going to be all 70s and 80s. It might be some mixed 70s, 80s, and 90s, depending on the characters and the scene I'm trying to create. And number 3, create, buy in bulk some items so I can put them out in the sale next year so we can have an even bigger vintage sale than we did this year. So let's get right to it. We'll start. These are all either eBay auctions, claim sales from groups on Facebook. Basically, they fall into that category. All right. Hoping I'm not getting into any packing peanuts, which I am. So I will. Generally speaking, I move it pretty quickly. Okay, but ooh, looks like we have we have 2. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, we have a couple of different items here. Let me make sure that I go through them all, and I make sure that I don't. Okay, looks like this one I was able to manage. We'll save this one for last, or the last of this section. All right, so we've got, and when I say vintage, trying to patch holes in the vintage collection, I'm not just talking about vintage Kenner figures. I've actually done quite well with that over the years. I either have a complete collection of loose figures, or mostly complete. There are a couple of holy grail items that the only way, if you watch my last episode, like a blue snaggletooth. I have a blue snaggletooth, but it was damaged. So I got one that was less damaged, But then there are just things like this. Like I'm kind of, maybe because I'm a teacher, maybe back to school is always fresh on my brain. Like it seems like they start with the back to school commercials very, very quickly, in the summer. I know some schools start in August. Our schools up here in New Jersey, they don't really start till September. So we still have a little time. But if I'm going to have to endure back to school, I want to be Star Wars back to school, like this Return of the Jedi. Something about Return of the Jedi, man, they really cornered the market on back to school stuff. It just was, the movie came out in May. It was really popular over the summer. And then they just flooded the market with all sorts of school supplies. And I remember I was 12 when the movie came out. So I was all about the school supplies. So it's a nostalgic, it's scratching a nostalgic itch. This is a glue stick or color glue, which, I just love the art on the box, the art on the packaging. There's a little, what looks like the shuttle. The shuttle Tidarium on the case itself. So that's really cool. All right. What else we got in this one? I don't know if it's school supplies. Oh, no. It's toothbrushes, which is funny because somebody, Star Wars Daddy, sent me for free a Star Wars toothbrush. So now I guess I'm collecting toothbrushes. Well, these are Return of the Jedi, again, by Oral-B. We got a Vader and a Han and Chewie. Recommended by more dentists than any other toothbrush. So, I am not going to use these. I like to have a few. I'm not trying to complete the collection. They are just a sample that I enjoy having part of. So, and then the last thing out of this collection is a little bit more, this one could be just a little bit more challenging here. Interesting way to pack it, I will say. Obviously, by the star case, you can tell that this is a vintage figure. And that is... my. This is a Bib Fortuna. Oh, geez. Oh, I see. Okay. It's a Bib Fortuna, Return of the Jedi, cracked bubble, okay, slightly. So it's, not, these are the way I collect them, okay? I believe I already have a Bib Fortuna, so this will I'll take a look at the one that is the best one, and I'll stay in my collection, and the rest will go out in the sale. This one is probably going to be the one going out in the sale. It's an okay figure, but it was a very reasonable price, and as far as, the price for Hang on a second. The price, as far as the price goes for vintage carded action figures, I always go after the Jedi ones first because they are the most reasonable. And you put them in the thing like this, they're in great shape. So, and they look really nice. Okay, even though there is some scuffing on the top, looks like there might have been some. There's definitely some wear and tear on the top of the card, and the upper left corner of the bubble is cracked. The packing was excellent. Okay. All right, what else we got? We got another one here. This is from a Facebook. This is a Facebook claim sale person. What basically they do is they put a whole bunch of items out and they have a claim sale, and they'll essentially list everything and say, okay, here's a picture of everything. This item, and it's usually pieces of stuff. All right. So here are the pieces that he had. Like we have a dewback. This is just a plain old dewback. Okay. No harness, I don't think. No saddle, nothing, just a dewback. This is does have the little spring thing to put the thing. This is riding bareback dewback. Okay, bareback dewback. We also have 4 original X-wing cannons. Okay, if you watched the previous episode, I have an old X-wing. I can now, make it partially complete with these. And then we have 2 other items. This is I have to look. I think this might be for, let's see what this is again. This is a piece. I think this is a cannon for the Rebel blockade runner, or not, the Rebel transport. I think that is what this is for. So these are just little pieces. They were very inexpensive, but it helps. Basically, it helps to, slowly piece together. I picked up a lot of loose vehicles, and I'm looking to try to. I don't know if I'm going to ever complete them fully, but if I get them close to it, and then offer that up at the next sale, I think that'll be something that young collectors or collectors with limited budget, which there are a lot, will be more enticed, to take part in. There are some pieces of vehicles that are very rare, that are very hard to come by. So if you might end up spending a huge amount of money just for that one piece. Okay. Same goes for action figures. Certain accessories, a lesser made accessory, one that's more rare, like Princess Leia's longer longer neck blaster. That one you can see people paying $85 for, which is why when you see a Princess Leia with the white vinyl cape, you see the Princess Leia from Star Wars with the blaster. People are asking $100, $200, $300. Well, not $300 is a little much, but $100 to $200 for a loose figure. That's why, because the blaster is what people are going after. All right. Let's move on to this one because it's a little. I'm going by height here, or not by height, by size. These bigger boxes are usually there may be. I'm not exactly sure. I mean, I lose track, especially considering. Oh, we've got 1, and we've got 2. Oh, I'm not 100% sure what this one is. Keep in mind, full disclosure, I have been taking part in a lot of these sales while on vacation. I've been just doing them on my phone, and therefore things come in, then I get the notification that they were shipped, then I get the notification that they arrived, and my daughter was home and she was taking them off the shelf and taking them off the steps and putting them in the basement. So thankfully we I think I know what this is. I think I know what this one is. Again, these are just things that if I can find them for a reasonable amount of money, I'll try to put them out there. Okay, we've got a 12-inch R2-D2. Okay, 12-inch from the 12-inch 78 collection. All right, it comes with 2. I don't know how many of. I have to look and see how many of the. It has these little things that you put in the back. These little data cards. All right, and you open up his back. Oh no, there are only 2, I think. Okay, 1, 2. All right, so pretty good. I might give him a little cleaning. Okay, could use a little bit. Makes his little clicky sound, so that's good. Of course, you can't just have R2 by himself. Got to have a partner. Got to have someone to work with. His Abbott to his Costello is Laurel to his Hardy, and you've got Oh dear. We've got C-3PO. So there it is. 3PO, R2. It's a tag team. Oh look, he even included a stand, which I suppose I don't know how well the stand. These stands are a little bit wonky because once you get them, I don't really know how well these things hold up, but I guess that works out pretty well. So these are those 12-inch figures, man. I just think they went the way of the micro collection. All right, it was like almost like this one's too big, this one's too small, this one's just right, and I feel like, but they went backwards. They did the just right one first, which is a 3 3/4 inch, right? Then they tried to do 12-inch, didn't sell so well, and then they tried to do micro a couple of years later, which is like an inch, like metallic figures like this little guy, here, and they didn't sell that well. And I just think the same thing I said in the last episode, or one of the last episodes, was that it felt like people, parents especially, they're like, we've paid all this money for all these figures and vehicles and play sets, and now you're giving us a new size? I mean, we don't want to do that. So there it is. And yet, here we are, 2025, and there are the Black Series, there is the Vintage Collection, there's the Retro Collection, there's the 3 3/4 inch. Then they have that pseudo 4-inch one for kids, and we went through Galactic Heroes and the Play School stuff, and oh my gosh, it's just, they've done it. But that's just what toy companies do. They throw a bunch of things at the wall and see what sticks and what's popular. But as far as collectors are concerned, I think we've mainly stuck with mostly 3 3/4 inch. Some people Black Series, but I still, these things do have a bit of a rarity to them. If I can find boxes for them, I will see if I can track them down. But I can sell them like this. The 3PO is a little bit loosey-goosey. He's got a little looseness to us, but most of his joints are pretty good. So that is awesome. Okay, and now that leaves us with one more box. I think this might have come from UK. I'm not sure. Let's see what we have. Please no packing peanuts. Please no packing peanuts. Please no packing peanuts. Oh, yes. Okay, this is not actually this is not an eBay, nor is this a claim sale. No, this is essentially, well, let me get them out of the box and then I'll have more room here. I picked up two items. You mentioned me talk about dioramas. These are dioramas. These are handmade dioramas, meaning they are not licensed. Okay, and I don't know people's opinions on them. Frankly, I don't care. No gatekeeping here. You do what makes you happy, and what makes me happy is to figure out any which way that I can figure out cool ways to display my collection. Okay, let's get these out here. Ooh, I like the boxes on these. These are awesome. Oh, okay. First and foremost, we have the Executor Bridge. And if you watched me on the previous episode, you saw me like really working to get a complete set of bounty hunters, an extra set of bounty hunters. I am almost there. I got them all except Boba Fett. Boba Fett's always hard, but I think I have a couple of Boba Fetts from previous, collecting jaunts that I think I can put in here. All right, but this is it's really simple. It's a kind of a plastic base. This is from a builder named Rebel Forge, and I believe you can find him on Etsy. And it's an Executor Bridge action playset. I love how they call it an action playset. I don't know how much action is going on here. I think it's basically just a base with a cardboard backdrop, and then you can line up all the figures. Okay, I am not going to open these yet. I'm just going to kind of show it like this. Maybe on a later date, I will open it up and I will kind of set it up for you. All right, but I have so many. We're already at 15 minutes, so I want to get there's another one here that I want to show you. So, in a way, I kind of love it like this. I just love the boxes, man. You could just sell me empty boxes. I would be all over that. You just make up stuff. Do a drawing of any vehicle, any playset that never existed, and put it in a box like this. I will probably buy it. even if there's nothing in it, because it's so cool. So that's just who I am. But anyway, let's do the other one that Rebel Forge did. And by the way, these are not, these are paid for, meaning I bought them. I don't have a lot of, occasionally I'll do a review, a toy review or something of that nature, but I don't really try to do that. I just, if somebody reaches out to me, I say, okay, yeah, sure. All right, this one, similar. This is the Ice Planet Assault action playset. Okay, and again, this is just, if you look at it closely, you'll see it is just the base with a cardboard backdrop. But I like that it's a plastic base, gives it a little bit more sturdy. I have a nice little spot right here that I took a few items off the shelf to put in the sale, and these are going to go beautifully there. Okay, so I'll set those up on a later date. And again, this one is, and I just picked up, got a nice minty fresh Rebel. I'm sorry, not Rebel. I have a bunch of Rebels, and I have a bunch of Snowtroopers that I can put to use here. And I even have an extra cannon that I can put to use. So I'm excited to get those out. But for now, I just wanted to kind of show you all of the items we have. I'll kind of put a few of them out here, just like this. All right. Real excited to, again, these are things, it's a beautiful, it's like the best combination there is. It is, do not roll off, R2. It's the best combination there is. It is finding items to supplement the next sale, which again is not for a year or less than a year, 11 months. Okay, but it is coming. I do want to let people know that I've been telling people who came to the sale itself that because of things that there was some other conflicts taking place that might push the sale off to next July. That doesn't look like it's going to happen, so I will more than likely be continuing to do the sale towards the very end of June. And it'll be a full weekend. It'll be a Thursday through Sunday. And I'm not going to talk much about the dates yet until I know when I have it, firm, which will probably not be till the winter, but I will send it out. And a lot of the items that you're going to see are going to end up in that sale. Again, if there were items of my own personal collection, things like this, things like the Ice Planet Assault and the Executor Bridge, those will go on display here. But other items, I'll take a look at my originals if I can clean them up a little bit. I don't want to get any reproduction parts. If I do, I will make sure I mark that and make sure people know that. But for the most part, I just want to get the figures in the best shape as possible and put them out in the sale as is. Again, not looking to make a ton of money, just looking to, if I can make back what I bought it for, but if I can share it out to people in a nice, cool Star Wars celebration type of day, that's awesome. So really happy with the items that came in today. Thanks so much for watching. Like and subscribe. Hit the notification. Reach out to me. Make comments. And the more interactivity we have on this channel, the better. I love interacting with people that watch the channel. I just love spreading the love of Star Wars with anybody who will listen. All right, so thanks so much for watching. Be sure to check out all my other videos and playlists, and check me out on Instagram and Bluesky. I'm trying to get a little more active on Instagram. I'm trying to put a few more shorts out on YouTube. The 1 minute long videos. I know that they're real popular. I've done a few and they seem to get a lot of views. So, we'll see how that goes. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, may the Force and the toys be with you.